Some of these old paintings, you can find some really weird stuff in. I mean, just look at this one. It's got God coming through some kind of portal wearing a pyramid on his head. Now, I mean, seriously, that has got to be on a list of top 10 weird things to see in a religious painting, surely. You've got paintings that are so blatant that there's no ability to say that this could be anything other than a UFO. If you're really into weird things in old paintings, you've probably seen this one already because it's quite a well-known weird one. But have you seen the close-up of the orb? Because that's where it gets really, really interesting. It seems to have a weird knob on it, and it also has a light, like an on-off light. And the antenna that God and Jesus are hanging onto is the sort that can extend, go within itself. So it can go from a little tiny stubby one and be pulled out to a long one. Now, who would have expected that on such an old painting, like rabbit ears? Here's another weird one. I mean, this looks like a very sweet painting of a little angel with the baby Jesus and the Mother Mary. And then just over her shoulder, there's something weird. So if we go into a close-up of that weird thing, I mean, to me, that looks like some kind of maybe submarine flying in the air. And look at that guy on that hill staring at it like he's stunned. It's kind of way out there, don't you think? There's nothing that would seem to be a logical answer to what that could possibly be. And the closer we get, the more it very much looks like a submarine. Anyway, this is the Madonna with Saint Giovannino. Well, this painting doesn't seem particularly unusual or weird until you realize that it's not just a picture of Jesus with a whole heap of saints and angels, but a massive collection of clones. So Jesus is there, he's got one side of him, it looks like his mother Mary, the other side may be Joseph, not sure on those two, but everyone else is a clone, an identical clone. It's the same face, over and over and over. Just keep looking at it. It's just unbelievable. They're all identical. Some of them are wearing different clothes, and some have wings, and some don't seem to have wings, but it's the same face. Here's another weird one that just boggles the mind. You can start with seeing the lovely picture of Jesus and Mary, kind of in a portal in a cloud. And then if that's not weird enough for you, sitting on a platform, but then underneath it, what are they? That looks like endless UFOs. And then as we come down into the city scene, we've got a pyramid over there in the distance, and a whole group of people are standing around. So this is definitely in the land of mega weird. Kind of painting about the birth of Christ in a barn, but when you have a closer look, what you find is that the barn has recently experienced some damage, and you can see bits of the damage on the ground in front of the barn. And then up next to the roof, there's this whole group of what look like angels on a platform, but it very much looks like they're the cause of all this damage to the roof. It's as if, they got a bit carried away, hit the roof, and all this stuff got broken off it. You've also got off to the left, you've got this kind of stacked dolmen. That's a pretty interesting painting. I've got a few more bits of weird stuff in old paintings, but this time it's nice stuff. So here we've got a fairly coy-looking angel, and at the edge of one of the layers of the skirt, she seems to be hiding two young men who are kissing, and it's quite endearing. It's quite a sweet picture showing that love is love, and this particular angel is absolutely fine with that. So that's rather lovely. And then there's this second but slightly odder painting of a woman who is very clearly extremely hairy, being given a cloak by, I don't know, it looks like a monk. Now let's have a look at a couple of weird old paintings that happen to be rather scary. Now, this one on first glance looks like it's just someone passing away. But at one end of the bed, oh, there's an interesting character. And if one of the faces wasn't scary enough, it's got two faces. The second face being in its chest. And boy, is it got a weird look on its second face. And this one, well, I just can't even begin to describe it. It's just scary as scary can be. And I'll let you look at it and make your own opinion. This painting is creepy, seriously creepy. And I'm not talking about just that weird stuff that's in the sky there. I mean, that really is pretty weird what's going on there. I'm talking about this weird, very creepy looking monk that is approaching a child who's sitting on some rocks. Here's another seriously weird piece of old art. It's from the 1400s, and it's called The Temptation of St. Anthony by Martin Schongauer. And it's full of the weirdest and some strangely cute items that is quite surprising. Little guy here is way too cute to be a demon. And this little dog, what's he doing in there? But, oh, there's some ugly, mean-looking characters as well. And one that had me in hysterics because it was so funny. That's this guy. He's a bit cat-like at the front, but then he's got a face on his bottom. It's hilarious. I mean, how can you be scared of that? It's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, some of those characters do look a bit scary.